This video is about finding the area of something that is called a sector. Now, in the past, we already learned that we can find the area of a circle as long as we know the radius, and that area of a circle is going to be r squared times pi. All right, and remember our units there are units squared. So that area that we are calculating actually represents like the area of the entire circle, everything inside. All right, what we're going to look at today is this thing that's called the area of a sector. So let's say that we have a circle here with a radius r, but now we're going to create a central angle using another radius with an angle measure in here of theta, and that gives us this thing that is called a sector. So all this space inside here is what is known as the sector of a circle. Think of it kind of like a wedge or a piece of pizza. Okay? What's the area of the piece of pizza? It's the same thing as what is the area of the sector. All right? The area of a sector is a fractional part of the area of a circle. So if the area of a circle is r squared pi, then the area of a sector has to be a fractional part of r squared pi. So the formula that we have here for area of a sector, which I'm going to abbreviate like that, will be theta over 360. Again, that's going to give us the fractional part times r squared pi. This is the formula that we're going to use today to find the area of a sector of a circle. Now, believe it or not, there are actually a lot more. I shouldn't say a lot more, a few more formulas. We're just going to focus on this one. All right? And the reason being, this is the easiest out of the other ones that are coming to mind right now. Okay, so how does this work? Find the area of a sector. In order to find the area, there are two things I need to know. I need to know the radius, and I need to know theta. I know that the area of a sector will be theta, or 90 over 360, times 13 squared, or r squared, pi. And notice it says find the area. It doesn't say anything about rounding. That's how I know my answer has to have pi in it. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and simplify 90 over 360 to 1/4. All right? I'm going to simplify 13 squared to 169 pi. Now, 1/4 times 169 gives me an area of 169 over 4 pi. And now we need to include the units. Remember, whenever we're calculating area, it's always units squared. So in this case, it would be kilometers squared. All right. Again, just like we saw with the arc length, the hard part of doing these problems is simplifying the fractions. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the next one. I've got a radius of 5. I've got theta as 315. I can calculate the area of the sector that creates. The area of the sector would be 315 over 360 times r squared times pi. All right, and we know that 315 divided by 360, if I do that and simplify that fraction, I know that that's going to break down to 7 over 8 times 25 times pi. All right, and 7 times 25, let's see, that would be 175. So the area would be 175 over 8 pi into my units squared, inches squared. All right, let's make sure on this too. 175 divided by 8, is there anything that goes in? Well, 2 doesn't. 4, there's nothing that'll go into both of them. All right. So I know that that's a simplified fraction. One way that they could give us the information is the data spread that they did there. Another way would be to give it to you in a picture. All right, there's a radius, there's theta. Because I have both pieces, I know that I can calculate the area of a sector. The area of a sector is going to be 60 over 360, the fractional part of the area of the circle, which would be 8 squared times pi. Now 60 over 360, that's going to break down to 1/6 times 64 pi. Or the area would be 64 over 6 pi, but I can simplify that even further. All right, I know that 2 goes into both of them, so that gives me 32 over 3 pi. Now I'm ready because it's simplified. Bring in the units, square feet. All right, and one last one here. There's my radius, 13 centimeters. Notice 270. So everybody understand, hopefully, this whole space in here is what we're trying to find the area of. All right, all that space in that kind of darkened region is what we're trying to find the area of. That's our sector. So the area of that sector is going to be 270 out of 360 times 13 squared times pi. All right, so 270 out of 360, I know that that breaks down to, let's see, 27 over 36. So 27 over 36 would simplify to 3/4. So I know that the area is going to be 3/4 times 169, which is 13 squared, times pi. I'm going to grab my calculator here, and I'm going to go 3 times 169, which would be 507. So the area would be 507 over 4 pi, and then my units would be centimeters squared. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, the big, hardest part of this is simplifying the fractions. Good luck.